My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Some years ago, I made a mistake buying a plane ticket through the internet, and I called up the company to solve the problem, and they were very kind. A person was taking care of me, and they changed the itinerary, and I didn't pay any extra fee or anything like that, and I was waiting for an email to confirm the new ticket, the new plane ticket, and to my surprise, a few minutes later, the email popped up in my screen, and I realized that the new ticket was on first class. And it was actually a long trip from coast to coast in the US. So I had a chance to fly on first class, and it was a lot of fun because they treat you like a king with the warm towels, appetizer, champagne, all sorts of movies, very comfortable seats, etc. Now the trouble is that later I needed to fly many other times, and I never came back to that paradise of first class. And today in the Gospel, Jesus, in a way, you, my Lord, you're talking about this first class when you say, "It is better for you that I go." Okay, time out. Jesus, what do you mean? How could this be possible? That you being absent is better for me, for this world, than you being present? No, that's impossible. Are you saying that any pope in history, even the holiest of the holiest, is better than you? That it would be better to have a pope than having you, for example? And then, how can I approach these words of yours? How can this be better, that you are absent? In other words, if having you in this world was the best moment in human history, your absence after that, or your presence in a different way, is better? Can you explain it to me, Jesus? Because that will be really cool to realize that we are now in a better situation than the apostles, actually. So you continue in the Gospel and you say, because then, if I go, I will send you the advocate. And then he will explain you everything. He will guide you. You will have interior life, in other words. Now, what is this business of interior life? What does it mean, my Lord, to have interior life? It means to be like the Blessed Virgin Mary. Remember, in the Gospel, she's called or named the Full of Grace. And when she visited her cousin Elizabeth, the Holy Spirit was present. And Elizabeth was filled with joy. And the infant in her womb also was so filled with that he started jumping inside her. So this is the action of the Holy Spirit. Later on, after the ascension of Jesus, you, my Lord, when you ascended into heaven, and you send the Holy Spirit, the book of the Acts of the Apostles describes the coming of the Holy Spirit as the most joyful moment in human history for the church. The apostles were so happy that people thought they were drunk. They were so happy that they were overwhelmingly, contagiously joyful. And people were saying, what's the secret? What did you do? What are you reading or what are you doing? I mean, you're so different and so confident. And they changed the Roman Empire through that happiness. So when you are saying, my Lord, that it is better that you go, you are not actually going absent. You are disappearing a little bit more. You, at the beginning, you were hiding your divinity in your humanity. Later, you were hiding in the cross. And finally, the Eucharist, the most powerful, the most disarming presence of your love in this world. And again, this is better than hearing your voice. This is better than walking with you. This is better than you making miracles. This is better than sitting down in front of you and making eye contact. This is better. So we have a treasure in our hands, inside us, that we need to discover. For St. Augustine, it took many years. And he remembers in his memories, in his confessions, I was seeking outside and you were inside myself. You were more interior to myself than my thoughts. There was a treasure at hand just inside me. And it took me so long to discover it. And once I did it, I rested. I just find peace. Every time I go there to that treasure, Jesus, I can find real peace in my interior life, in my conversation with you inside me. It is always so amazing to me, my Lord, this combination between your grace and my freedom. Your respect for me. You're telling me, let's do it together. Instead of me doing it for you, let's do it together. I want you to be also protagonist of your own salvation. Thank you, my Lord, for respecting me so much, for taking me so seriously. These past weeks in the US, and I think all over the world, they are broadcasting the documentary about Michael Jordan's last season in the Chicago Bulls. You can watch it on Netflix. I think it's called The Last Dance. And it's pretty inspiring to see the best basketball player of all times, I guess. And one of the guys being interviewed that played with Jordan says that Michael Jordan was amazing as a player and was a natural leader because of his skills. But there was another guy in the team, Scottie Pippen, that made things easy for you as a new player, as an upcoming player. And he said that he needed both, but he had more confidence in Scottie Pippen, at least as a human being. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to have a guy that had both characters, like the possibility skills of being unstoppable, and also the human approach of taking you and then helping you to develop your being part of a team. And this is, changing what we need to be changed, but this is what happens with Jesus Christ. All the power, and at the same time, a welcoming smile. All the leadership combined in one single person. All the features of the virtues of a great leader, and at the same time, so approachable. You are so close to ourselves, Jesus, that sometimes we don't see you, says Pope Benedict. The same idea that St. Augustine was saying. So interior to myself that sometimes I don't see you. I want to see you, my Lord. I want to follow you. I want to let you be my guide. I want your Spirit to guide me, to fill me with joy. Like the Blessed Virgin Mary, I want to be full of grace. The grace of God that is at hand for me. It's not that your hand has diminished over the centuries, that you had a budget, so to speak, for the first generation of Christians, and now you're running out of grace because whatever. You don't have crisis, Jesus. You don't have crisis. Your powerful grace permeates human history from beginning to end. And you are as real today, right now, as you were 2,000 years ago. You are the real God that sustains history. You are the Lord of history. And you want to be in my life. And not only externally, as an influence more or less, inspiring me with some thoughts, but you want to be in my interior life. Just inside me. And to meet me there, in my heart, with no masks, with complete silence, with a lot of peace. My mother, in this month of May, can you help me to have interior life? Can you give me interior life? The Gospel says that you would ponder things all the time. Especially when you didn't understand, you would ponder, which means that you would go inside yourself and talk to God there. You're the spouse of the Holy Spirit. So ask your spouse the Holy Spirit, please ask Him to give me interior life, to help me to discover that I have a treasure in my heart, a place where you and I and Jesus, your Son, can meet and talk and learn. Especially, I will learn from you, of course, but I can learn and talk to you inside myself. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.